Good morning, Tottenham fans. In today's video, I will give you 4 players Tottenham must sign this summer and 2 players that are currently playing for Spurs that are going to pop next season. They're going to make big names of themselves. And just before I get into this video, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like, it really gets this video shown to more. I'm so close to 2,000 subscribers now, just under 100 away now. So if you can help me reach that big goal of mine, it'll be much appreciated. So let's get into this video. So first player I think Spurs should definitely sign this season is Eberechi Eze. Now, we've been chasing this guy for a couple of years now, maybe 3 years. Even when he was at Queen's Park Rangers, we were looking into him. That's when we should have signed him, but we didn't. Didn't stump up the money. Now it's clear that Crystal Palace are saying they will take instalments for the player. So it's 68 million in total, but they would take 20 to 25 million this season and then 25 and then the rest of it in the next 2 seasons, which is music to Daniel Levy's ears. It's music to Tottenham's fans' ears because this guy is a class act. He's just won the FA Cup as well, so he knows how to get over the line. He's joining a team full of Europa League winners. He can play in that number 10 role and create massive amounts of chances. He's very skillful. He can play on the left wing as well, so he's pretty versatile. He doesn't play many games on the right-hand side, but mainly the left or in the number 10. He plays in the left for England as well. He's just got it all. If you can understand what this means, he's a Tottenham player. He's just got that flair. He's got that class about him that you think to yourself, if anybody can unlock a 0-0 game, it will be him. Now, when we've got problems with people like James Maddison's injury record, and James Maddison every season gets injured for at least a month or 2. We need someone to come in. And I know we've got Kulusevski, but at the moment, Kulusevski is out. Probably be out for the beginning of the season. So if Maddison's comes in and he gets injured, we've got nobody. We definitely need to sign another number 10, in my opinion, especially playing on 4 competitions. 5 if you count the Super Cup. But that's only for 1 game. And then, so Eze, he's homegrown as well, and it just makes sense that Eze comes to Spurs and we can afford his wages as well. There's just no reason why Spurs shouldn't go in for this. And there is another option that has been touted along the way is Xavi Simons. Xavi Simons is a top class quality player playing for Leipzig at the moment. He's only 22 years old. He can also play on the wings and in the number 10 role. He's very, very quick, very skillful, can score goals. But which one would I suggest to sign? And I would suggest Eze still, for the simple fact he'll be Premier League proven. He's English, so he'll come under the homegrown for when we do play Champions League football, so he can slot in that homegrown position. It'll just make more sense to sign Eze, although I think that Xavi Simons would be, I think he's got probably a higher ceiling and would end up probably even better player than Eze. And he's only 22 years old and he can only get better and better. I think Eze at the moment is at his peak. Simons can still get better, but I would still side with Eze on this occasion. Now, the second player we need to sign, and we need to get this over the line, is Mbeumo. We need to make sure we just put the money up front for him, say, this is the guy we want, pay his wages. Thomas Frank gets his man. He's worked with Thomas Frank before. He has a good relationship with him. We're in the Champions League now. We've just won a trophy. We can afford his wages. We can afford to pay up front the fee. We'll probably be able to pay in instalments as well, which would be brilliant for this guy. He scores goals. He's strong. And another guy that's got the X factor. If you can bring Mbeumo in and Eze, our front line will be cooking. And Another factor is we haven't got many players that really play on the right hand side. I don't like Kulu out there, and the rest of our wingers are just Johnson that plays on the right, and the rest really play on the left, like Odeberg and Tell and Sonny. They're all left-sided wingers. Even Yang if he came in. So we desperately need a right forward, and Mbeumo is the perfect guy. He won't take long to settle in. He knows what Frank wants from his forward players, so it wouldn't take him long. He's Premier League proven as well, and that would aid towards us signing two absolute brilliant players for the summer, and that would be a massive statement. After saying that you want to win the Premier League and the Champions League, signing these two players won't get you that, but it would head you in the right direction for sure. Other mentions maybe is Semenyo and Kudos. I think Kudos will be a fantastic signing if we could get him. I just can't see us paying 70 to 80 million. And Bournemouth are saying that they want 70 million for Semenyo. For me, Semenyo is a really, really good player, but he doesn't score enough goals and assist enough to verify him being 70 million. Like now, if they offered 40 million and they said we could have him for 40 or 50, then that's more realistic. But for me, if you're going to spend 70 million, you might as well buy an Mbeumo who scores 20 goals a season. Or he scored 20 goals in his last season anyway, and he's getting better and better every season under Frank. And if he comes to Spurs again, it'll be under Frank. Kudos had a poor season last season, but the season before that he was lightning. So West Ham had a poor season last year, so that might have coincided with that. But for me, Mbeumo and Eze so far are the two that I would sign. Now, in the DM role, we desperately need a DM role. I know that Frank plays a double pivot anyway, but we still need that enforcer. We still need someone to win that ball back, hard in the tackle, experienced Premier League player. So I think we should go for Paulinho, the guy that went to Bayern Munich from Fulham, and now he's a little bit unsettled. And Bayern are offering him out for about 30 million. For me, that would be a snip. That would be a bargain. That sort of Premier League proven enforcer that we need could be the guy that could transform our midfield and make us solid in that area. If we had Paulinho just behind like a Bergvall or a Bentancur or something like that, then our midfield would automatically be a lot stronger. It would improve our first 11 and improve our squad. So Paulinho for me would be a no-brainer in that DM role. Other candidates would probably be someone like Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton's still a young lad. I can't remember his age. I think he's around 22 years old. But he's been playing brilliantly for Crystal Palace in that holding midfield role. Very, very good on the ball. Very good at spraying the balls, 40-yard passes here and there. Very good at keeping hold of the ball in tight spaces. And his work rate is insane. So, but for me, I would probably side with Paulinho because we've got players like Archie Gray, Bergvall, Sarr, all young and can still develop into top-class midfielders, and we don't want to block too many paths going through. Paulinho would be a short-term fix, I think, for 2 or 3 seasons until Bergvall and Gray become into their early 20s and by then could take over the mantle. So the 3 players so far, Eze, Mbeumo and Paulinho. That sounds so good if we can get them 3 in. Now, the 4th player, and a position I still think we desperately need, but I think we should get this in a hybrid, is left centre-back stroke left-back. Now, Castello Lucaba, he also plays for Leipzig, so I'm not sure if we got Simons, we'd be able to get this guy as well. So let's get Eze and then get this guy from Leipzig. Lucaba is a very, very good left centre back. He's very strong. I think he's 22 years old as well. He's very strong, very, very fast. So if Van der Ven, he's quite injury prone. So if he gets injured again, then there's a good chance that Lucaba can cover for him. He's very, very good on the ball, very good at progressing forwards with the ball. Very good defensively, strong in the tackle. So it makes perfect sense for this guy to come into Spurs. It fits all the criteria that we need. He can also cover at left back as well with his pace. He would fit perfectly into Frank's defensive systems that he uses. Sometimes he uses 3 at the back, so we could have Lucaba, Romero and Danso as the 3 centre backs, for example. and we can play Van der Ven as left back and Porro at right back, or vice versa, Lukaku left back and Van der Ven left centre back. There's so many options to change things around if we had this guy, because he's, like I said, a hybrid, and he's just a really, really strong player. And if we don't sign him up very, very soon, he will be at a top club very, very, in the next couple of seasons, most probably. So they're the 4 players. If we sign these 4 players, I'm telling you, our first 11 will be absolutely 10 times stronger. It would be. It would balance our squad right out as well. It would give us options to rotate, which is massively important, especially when you're playing in 4 competitions. It would just elevate this squad up into another level. It really would. And these signings as well are pretty realistic. They're not like signings that, that are unrealistic for us to buy or pay the wages, or we can get these players. So I'm just hoping that the Tottenham hierarchy are really looking at this. Now, the 2 players that I think will pop next season. The first one is Tell. Now, I watched Tell the other day against Denmark under 21s match, and he was absolutely everywhere. His work rate is probably the most underrated part about his game. He's everywhere, absolutely everywhere. I saw him at one point clearing a corner with a header, and the next part having a shot. He had a goal disallowed for a header. He nearly scored from a brilliant volley from a cross from the left-hand side, crossed over, right-footed volley, and the goalkeeper did a magnificent save. And he also scored a goal towards the end, I think the 87th minute. He cut inside and bent it into the bottom-hand corner, exactly what Sonny used to do. And he just looked electric on the day, and he just looked like something was going to happen every time he got the ball. He was always threatening, always running, always pressing. I just think next season he is going to pop under Frank. Frank is known to really develop forward players as well. So I really think that Tell was going to really benefit from the systems that Frank are going to... Because Frank always plays to players' strengths as well. And I just think this is going to really make Tell pop. And another mention would probably be Odegaard. Odegaard might pop too, but I'm telling you, Tell next season is going to make a name for himself. Now, the second player I think is going to pop is Vuskovic. Now, people are sleeping on this guy because he's 18 years old. He's come from another country, so people are saying, I've got to give him time to bed in and all that. I understand, I really do, and it will take him time to adapt to the Premier League. It really will, because it's such a strong league. But I think he's going to do a Bergvall. I think he's going to come in. He's going to struggle to adapt at first. I think he's going to show some really good qualities, but then we're going to see some mistakes here and there. But I think 3 to 6 months into the season, we're going to see this guy pop as well. And he's going to start trying to be in the first team, because this guy, he made his debut for Croatia, by the way, a couple of weeks ago, or last week or something like that, for the first team, the senior team, not for the under-21s. And he is just a phenomenal talent. He knows how to score. He dominates both boxes. He lacks the pace, but he's got this ability to be in the right place at the right time. He can score goals. Like, he scored 7 goals last season in the Belgian league. I know it's a different caliber, but he's just so dominant in the opposition box. So he would be a massive asset as well for us. And Frank, and if you match this with Frank's tactics, Brentford had the most crosses by far than any other team in the Premier League last season. And if we're putting in cross after cross after cross, and Vuskovic is in the box, he's going to have a field day. He loves getting on the end of things and scoring goals. So I think him and Tell will pop next season, you mark my words. These two, and plus another fact for you, is we're not going to be loaning them out either, because if we loaned Vuskovic out, he wouldn't be classed as club trained by the time he's 21, because you're not allowed to loan any players out. You have to be at your club between the ages of 18, well, between the ages of 15 and 21, and he's 18 now, so he's only got 3 years. So he won't be loaned out. So he will be in and around the first team, and I just feel like when we give him a chance, he's going to take that chance. He just seems full of confidence, and he's always willing to learn. He's going to pop next season, I'm telling you. Let me know in the Comment section below. What do you think of the players I've mentioned today, the 4 signings I think Spurs should make? And do you think the 2 players that I mentioned are going to pop next season? Or is there any players that you think will do better than I have not even mentioned them? Thank you for watching, and come on you Spurs.